respectfully asking for your vote, and I promise to serve you and be your voice for the community on the Elgin City Council. Paid for by Citizens for Maggie.
It is 9:06 on the first shift here on WRMN on this sunny morning. Still cold outside, but we're working on it. It's going to be a few more days before we can see some actual progress and feel the actual progress, but take it as it comes. It is February. It is, big day here on the show. We start with Mike Reed talking some serious issues with Governor J.B. Pritzker last hour, and I wish maybe we would have had a little more time for that, but we can talk more with Mike about that next week. If not in studio, then on the telephone. But now we're going to talk about Kane County a little bit. She's hard to track down. She's hard to get in the studio. But now that I got her here, we may have her here on a regular basis. I'm talking about Julie Mann, who is Kane County Public Information Officer. Is that your official title, Julie?
That's the official title. Thank you, Mark. Good to be here this morning. Thank you.
Thank you for coming back. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while, but I do appreciate the invitation.
Yeah, so you may recognize the voice. For those who didn't hear you the first time or don't know who you are, you just want to give us a little bit of your background to start us off this morning?
Sure. So I was a longtime radio person. Started off at WFXW, which was the small radio station in the Tri-Cities, 1480 AM, which no longer exists. But then moved to Chicago and had a 30-plus year career, most of it at WBBM News Radio as a street reporter, anchor, and then eventually their managing editor, where I ended my career. Moving on, part of that COVID kind of thing, like didn't want to work from home anymore and didn't want to hike it to Chicago anymore. So was privileged to get the job of Public Information Officer for Kane County, which means that I oversee outreach and communications for the county, a position that they had never held before or had before. So I had to kind of bring that up using social media, our Kane County Connects newsletter, which we hope we can promote regularly on the show. And I've been enjoying the time. So I turned my hour-and-a-half commute into 6 minutes. So it's fabulous.
Right.
And I'm back where I belong. I born and raised in Kane County in St. Charles. So didn't have to.
So you were born and raised in St. Charles then?
Yeah, fourth generation, actually. So my family's been around a long time. Educators, lawyers, community members, community people who took volunteerism, school board, park district, forest preserve, you name it, they were involved.
So where'd you go to high school?
St. Charles High School, which is now St. Charles East High School.
St. Charles East now.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it just used to be St. Charles High School at the time.
And so how long have you not been in radio then? For about 5 years?
Actually, 3 years.
3 years?
3 years.
Okay, so not very long.
No, it's, I think I finally decompressed from getting up at 3:30 in the morning and traveling to Chicago at 5 in the morning and working 24 hours. And yeah.
What time when you had your last morning radio job, did you actually go on the air in the morning? Was it 5?
Well, I hadn't really been on the air for about 11 years because I was the managing editor. But as I tell people, I had to get the news going. And it's 24 hours, 7 days a week. So that meant getting up at 3:30 in the morning, on the phone with the editor by 4, getting reporters out the door so we had something to report at 5. I was down in the newsroom by 6. Out the door between 3 and 4 in the afternoon, then taking phone calls up until 8 o'clock at night, in which then my boss, Ron Gleason, you might know him from the Bears broadcast. Then he would take over for the night shift to make sure that, but I did do weekends on the air for a long time. I did fill-ins on the afternoon shift on air. So yeah, I kind of miss it. I do, but I miss running the board. Like our boards were huge and you'd have to really, but anyways, yes. Still worth listening to WBBM News Radio as well. So
I knew that you missed it, and that's why we had to start having you back.
Yes, well, thank you.
You're on the station, so I just wondered, it was a whole different ballgame because you had a bunch of reporters and a bunch of other things to do before the morning radio show would start, compared to what I have to do with limited resources here on a small radio station.
But there's still a lot of prep work that goes into it.
Yeah, but I try. At this point, I don't try to expect, unless I'm lucky enough to have something and find out about something in the middle of the night. I don't necessarily come in here first thing in the morning expecting to break news. It'd be nice. I just don't know that we're at that point right now. So a lot of the prep work I think that I do, I'm able to prepare like before I go to bed the night before. And then if something else I find out happens overnight, I can report on that in the morning when I get here. But
right.
I guess my point is I try to sleep as long as I can and give myself as little time as I can between the time I get up and the time I start on the air every day.
Well, anybody who has dogs will understand that my dog continued to wake me up at 3 o'clock in the morning for at least a year and a half after I left the radio station. I kept saying, hey, I don't have to get up like right now. Give me till 5.
That means you don't.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody got used to being fed and let out. So at that early morning.
So in Kane County, so were you the one that kind of got the Kane County Connects thing underway and started then when you took, I guess you were because you're the first PIO for Kane County then, right?
Well, right. But actually Kane County Connects predates me. Goes back to about 2019, 2016, I want to say, with Rick Nagel, who was a longtime newspaper person in the Fox Valley area. And they brought that up several years ago because they felt like they needed an outreach, and because Rick had the expertise of being in the news industry as a newspaper reporter, that he really could put together something that was meaningful. And he did for a very long time until he retired 2 years ago. I took it over about 2 years ago. And so he would put it out every day of the week. It was a daily for him. And I brought it down to 2 days a week, because I just wasn't with the rest of, he wasn't really a public information officer. He was just focused on doing the newsletter. So I had other things I had to do. And I felt like 2 days a week was good, even though I know that people appreciated the news that he provided them, basically 5 days a week plus a weekend update too.
Yeah.
So Kane County Connects has been around for a long time, and it's grown. Its subscription rate is about 22,000 right now, which in a county of 515,000. It doesn't seem like a lot, but they're very dedicated subscribers. It's growing every day. I think people find some value with it. I do try to, as we've talked about, it's not just a promotion for what Kane County government is doing. That's the primary focus of it, but it does reach out to Hampshire, as you just had the village president on there, making sure that we know what's going on in Hampshire, what's going on for community events, announcements, news you can use. The weather is always in there. We have Pet of the Week, so if you want an adoption, we have that too. There's just a lot in it. And I think the best compliment I got is from somebody who said, I had no idea there were that many communities in Kane County. And I thought, well, we've touched everybody then. Okay. So that made me feel good.
Yeah. So Kane County's huge. And how many different villages and cities and towns, or whatever you want to call them, municipalities, do we actually have within the county?
We have 30, yeah.
30.
And some of them, again, cross other county lines. So we have communities that are in Cook County, McHenry County. We have some that are in Will County. So we have parts of some of those communities, but then we have whole communities like, Elgin's one of them that splits and kind of goes into Cook County too.
Yeah. So in a way, I mean, you kind of have, you kind of can think about things maybe the same way that we would as a radio station, as far as you do yours in print, but you have to try to find ways to keep up with all the different things that are going on in these 30 communities that make up Kane County. What do you do to make that happen? Are you constantly picking up the phone every day and checking in with all these different communities, or do you rely on people from these communities to provide you with the information so that you can put it out? Or is it a mixture of the two?
It's a little bit of a mixture of the two. I don't keep up with communities on a daily basis to know what the issues are. I watch the local newspapers, which we're very lucky in Kane County to have: the Courier, the Beacon, the Chronicle, the Daily Herald, Patch, the Voice. There's so many, and the radio station, obviously, too. So we have many outlets that are covering different portions of Kane County. So I watch the newspapers, but for the most part, it's more fun. I do a little bit more about what the community events are. Like St. Patrick's Day is coming up. So I've got a lot of events for St. Patrick's Day. Announcements, things that I just find in social media, in the municipal newsletters, which I would highly recommend any resident who has a municipal newsletter in their community, please sign up for that. I find them really, I mean, if you want to know what's going on in your community, get that community newsletter. Some of them go out quarterly, some of them go out monthly. Even the Park District's newsletters, the library letters, you're paying taxes for all of this. You should really get to know what your communities are doing. So beyond getting Kane County Connects, I would go ahead and sign up for those municipal newsletters too. I tried to find some fun things too in the last edition of Kane County Connects. We did bowling alleys. Like,
nice.
Where can you go bowling? Just
not as many
promotion.
places as you used to be able to.
Yeah, but they're still there and they've been around for a long time, and you never remember how fun it is to go bowling until you go.
I know, right? I love bowling.
I love bowling, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk, if I can go right into some of the things that Kane County is doing. One of the reasons that you brought me on here, and we hope to do this more on a regular basis, well, I'll be bringing in some of the department heads and elected officials from Kane County to really get into the nitty-gritty of some of the fantastic programs and opportunities that Kane County is providing its residents. I wanted to start with transportation because the Kane County Division of Transportation has outlined two of their priorities, their priority projects, I should say, which are both on the north end of the county up by you, which involves Randall over I-90, the interchange there. Okay. So we're going to, in the next 10 years, going to see that bridge, Randall Road Bridge over I-90 rebuilt.
Wow.
Get ready.
Randall Road Bridge over I-90.
Yes.
In the next 10 years, which is going to snarl things. While it's happening, I guess it'll be beneficial when it's finally finished, but that's 10 years down the road, right?
Well, and we just, for funding purposes and whatever. And then, of course, the other key components of that, basically, they're going to be doing a whole overhaul of Randall Road, trying to make improvements with pedestrian traffic, bicycle traffic, and also expanding lanes to accommodate capacity growth. That's going to be a $60 to $75 million project, again, over the next 10 years. The bridge needs to be replaced within the next 10 years. So that's what they're focusing on. Also, Hops Road at Randall Road.
Yeah.
So they're going to take Randall Road over the railroad tracks there at Hops Road. For people who travel it regularly, they can understand why they can get stuck there. That's a high growth area right now.
Yeah.
They're going to try to make Hops Road a little bit more easier to navigate, and then they're going to take Randall Road over the railroad tracks, which again that involves safety upgrades because the road right now kind of curves.
Yeah.
And it's a critical route, and again, population growth. Anyone who's gotten stuck there, I come down Randall Road north towards Elgin, and it's always gets stuck right in that area. So
that's just south of Hops.
Yes.
Is where the railroad tracks, where the railroad goes across. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just south of Hops. Now, I drive in that area quite a bit. Mm-hmm. Personally, Hops Road's never been an issue for me. It doesn't seem to bother me, but it seems to be a bother for a lot of people, and it seems to be a place where there are a lot of accidents on a regular basis. So it probably does need to be renegotiated over there a little bit. And also, I guess I really haven't been stuck by the train too often, so I guess I'm lucky. I'm not sure how many times a day the train comes through there, but when it does come, it takes a while.
Right, and I think that the grade level just needs to be elevated, and I think the bridge over there is going to make a big difference for everybody there. So that's something to look forward to. That they believe the construction, KDOT believes the construction will begin in about 2027 on that one, and that's about a $60 million project too.
Wow.
So, and I forgot to mention that the Randall over 90 interchange improvements will probably also include work with the tollway to improve that interchange there too, to get access to I-90 there too.
Why does the bridge need to be? I mean, you're not IDOT, so maybe you don't have the. You don't know why the bridge needs to be replaced. It just is old and is outdated.
I should have looked up just how old the bridge is, but regular maintenance on bridges. Yeah. Sometimes the maintenance then outweighs the need to just replace it. I mean, if you are continually have to provide maintenance for the bridge, and it costs this much, but yet if you just replaced it, then. But I think they all have life spans that expire, and I think it's my understanding that the 1 over 90 needs to go.
Well, we talk about the infrastructure of our nation's bridges,
yes,
and how old they have gotten, and there's a ton of traffic that goes over that bridge every day.
Right, exactly, and you should know that KDOT too maintains bridges all from down in Montgomery all the way up to Algonquin. And it's really, they have a regular maintenance program to make sure that those bridges are safe. And when it comes to safety and they see that the lifespan is expiring, it's time to check it. We've got a great group of engineers and planners at KDOT that are right on top of that. Yeah. So safety is the priority.
Okay.
So I wanted to move on to the Safe Travel for All initiative. This is with the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning. Now, What this entails is a bunch of different public forums. So it gives you and I an opportunity to say, hey, just like what you said with the Hops Road interchange with Randall Road, that's not the greatest intersection. So you can actually go onto a map and drop a pin and show them where you're upset with the flow of traffic. You think this traffic lights need to be changed. Maybe you believe that this speed limit needs to be slowed down. Maybe you need a stop sign. They are gathering all this information. Counties from across Northern Illinois are doing this, participating in this Safe Travel for All initiative. It will gather data from the public and from the different divisions of transportation departments and put together an overall safety plan, which then will be implemented with funding from the feds and the state, which will give us an opportunity to really see where some improvements are. New eyes on what could be improved and what could be made better. So it's, and I just wanted to mention too, because again, it's in Elgin, that they are meeting again, so you can provide your public input on this, Saturday, February 22nd, this Saturday.
Really?
From 10 until 12 at the Edward Schock Center. So again, that's Saturday, the 22nd, from 10 until 12. You can share your experiences and concerns and be a part of helping to improve traffic safety in Kane County, which I think is really an opportunity that people should take advantage of. I will speak only from a personal point of view that I do feel speeds and driving people just
Need to calm down?
yeah, nicely said. Okay.
Need to calm down.
Calm down. Okay, yes. I think people are in too big of a hurry and they're just not paying attention. I think you have too many things in your car to distract you too. And
That's true.
so this is a great opportunity to take advantage of this and give your input to that.
That's 10 to 12 at the Edward Schock Center right here in downtown Elgin.
Yep.
This Saturday morning.
Yep.
And it's open to the public and people have a chance to...
Just come and talk and share their experiences with the roadways in Kane County. So
Sounds good.
I think it's good.
We have a phone call at 847. If anyone wants to talk to Julie Mann this morning and be a part of this discussion about Kane County, 847-931-1410 is a way to reach the station, 847-931-1410. We're on YouTube. I'm checking any chats that come in at WRMN Radio on YouTube, and we have the Image 360 information line if you want to send a text that way, 505-926-1410. Send us a picture of Hops Road if you want to, or maybe not. Not as you're driving through it, though.
Okay.
Gary Dice checks with us this morning. Hey, Gary, good morning.
Good morning. Could you tell me how far Kane County goes west, east, and south?
You mean the borders? Sure. So it goes as far west as Elburn. Maple Park, excuse me.
Maple Park?
Maple Park.
Okay.
Didn't mean to forget Maple Park. Goes as far north as Huntley and Algonquin. Goes as far south as Sugar Grove and Montgomery. And then east to St. Charles.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure. It's a big, wide range. I think the other fun part about Kane County that we should mention, too, if we're talking about landscape, is that we have everything. We have industry, we have subdivisions, we have rural, we have farms, we have agriculture. We have, again, thriving businesses, downtowns. I mean, so the landscape of Kane County is really unique. And I think we're very lucky to live here, that we can still experience the Randall Road corridor, go shopping at our favorite shop, then drive 6 miles west and we're in the middle of a cornfield and going to a farmer's market.
No kidding.
Yeah. So I appreciate that.
Well, thanks, Gary.
Yeah. Let me know if we get another phone call.
Take care.
So if you don't mind, I'm going to go on to the Kane County Health Department. Some updates there.
Keep us on track here, Julie.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I will do that. Kane County Health Department, some really great opportunities there. They have launched what's called Behavioral Health 360, which is a new online mental health resource, completely free, chock full of local resources. And you're able to create your own account and load up with the resources, articles. You can take a health assessment, keep it all in your own private account for things like sleeplessness, anxiety, depression, stress, things that a lot of us go through on a regular basis. This is a very comprehensive website, again, free. It's a national model, but it's localized to fit Kane County so that you can find services for therapy, services for substance abuse, all, confidential, but it really is a fantastic resource. You can find it at kanehealth.com. It's right on their website. But again, free. You can create your own account. You can really start your own if you feel like you are in need of some mental health services. Start your own assessment. Read articles, connect with local resources. It's really, they've done an amazing job of bringing this kind of resource to Kane County. Also, sorry, if you have a question.
Well, I was just going to say, many people kind of feel like we're kind of in a mental health crisis, and a lot of the social service organizations, are strapped for time and strapped for, employees and administrators to handle these things. And so maybe to have a service like this that someone can go online and maybe begin their process themselves, this is a nice starting point for them, right?
It is a fantastic starting point. And again, it's all confidential, it's free. And I like the fact that you can create your own account and then kind of keep all of your material that you've collected, and it's updated and you can go on there and see new things. But I really thought, the health department felt that this was a great resource for people because it's free and it's just as easy as one click away on the internet. So again, it's called Behavioral Health 360. It's online and you can find it at kanehealth.com.
All right.
Also regarding the health department and Elgin, Kane County for the first time in many, 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 many years purchased a new building. It is at Point Boulevard in Elgin. That kind of sits right on the other side of I-90 on Randall Road, off to the side.
Okay.
That's Jimmy Char's house. It's
on that side. It's north of 90?
Right.
In that little area over there. Okay.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Big building. But they're going to expand the Kane County Public Health Department or Kane County Health Department there. So they will have a satellite there, much bigger than the one that they have right now in Elgin. They're going to be able to provide some meeting space. They will be able to provide more resources, some clinical services. They're hoping at some point there too. The best part about this too is that the building was big enough that the Kane County Clerk's office is also going to have a satellite office there. So of course, vital records, you can get your passport application, elections, you're going to be able to vote early there.
Oh, nice.
So people in Elgin really, not having to trek it all the way down to Geneva, and for the health department, not trekking all the way down to Aurora. So this is really an amazing thing. Also, Kane County Court Services, which include probation services and things, are also going to take advantage of that site too. So there's going to be several different satellite offices that will now be located near Elgin. So for residents in the north side or north end of the county, this is a real benefit for them. Something that they've been looking forward to for a long time. First time they've purchased a building for Kane County since they purchased the old Montgomery Ward building, which is now the circuit clerk's office, which is across from the fairgrounds in St. Charles.
So we've had to go to Geneva for a while for a lot of services that are now going to be provided just north of the interstate here on Randall. And so, but people that have lived in Algonquin that are in Kane County or Carpentersville, they've also had to go to Geneva all this time, right?
Right.
So that'd be nice and convenient for them.
Yeah. We hope to have, the county hopes to have that up and running sometime late spring, early summer. So something to look forward to on that. And of course, we can keep you updated. Let's see. So a couple other things. Kane County, the Office of Emergency Management earned a storm ready designation, which is from the National Weather Service. May not think that's a big deal, but hey, that just shows you how much the Office of Emergency Management is really honing down to make sure that we are prepared for disasters. Here's why. Because in the last 2 years, if you can believe this, we had 12 tornado events.
Yeah.
12.
I know. It's becoming more prevalent around here.
In 2 years, 2 in July, 3 in July, 1 in June, and 1 in February of 2024. So last year, February 27th.
We're becoming the new Tornado Alley around here.
Oh, yikes. Okay. So
can you hold on to those thoughts for just a couple of minutes?
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
We want to continue with Julie Mann for another segment or so. If you want to join the conversation, it's 847-931-1410. We're talking about Kane County, some of the new services that they are offering, and we have a little more with Julie coming up on the second half of this hour. Thanks for listening to The First Shift. We have Sonar's Boxers checking in, saying, great hearing Julie on the air again. Dino, give her a show on WRMN. Okay. She's going to run from that. It's 9:30. We'll be back with more of The First Shift. Stay tuned.
This is WRMN News. Hello, I'm Dennis Green. Both House and Senate Republicans are pushing their own budget plans. News Nation's Hannah Brandt reports there's a frontrunner, but it's not a slam dunk.
President Trump weighed in on social media, saying he prefers the House version, calling it one big, beautiful bill that implements his full agenda. But with uncertainty about whether the House can pass their budget plan, the Senate is pushing ahead. Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says Senate Democrats are ready for a long, drawn-out fight. because he argues both Republican plans are bad for Americans.
In other news, more changes are coming to ABC's Good Morning America. News Nation's entertainment reporter Paula Froelich reports Michael Strahan says he's leaving when his contract is up this summer.
GMA is undergoing some major changes. They're moving offices, they're moving studios, they're trying to cut budgets. A lot of people have been laid off, but their biggest problem was the anchors' salaries. With Stephanopoulos, Robin Roberts, and Strahan, it was over $75 million, close to $100 million, which might have made sense in 2002.
Strahan says he's looking to spend more time with family, especially his daughter, who was diagnosed with brain cancer. He currently juggles his role as a Good Morning America anchor with his duties as an analyst on Fox NFL Sunday, working up to 6 or 7 days a week during football season. For great fun to start your day, make sure you listen to The First Shift with Marky B, starting at 6 a.m. Monday through Friday. For WRMN News, I'm Dennis Green.
WRMN News, produced in Studio 14 by the River Media Network.
Do you own an annuity, either fixed rate, indexed, or variable? Are you paying high fees and getting low returns? If so, Annuity General would like you to have this free book to learn the pitfalls and mistakes of buying an annuity. The Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers contains the little-known truths about annuities, like how to help reduce your fees and increase retirement income. And it's free. That's right, free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report just for calling. We researched over 1,000 annuities and summarized rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. You get Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and the Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call now.
800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. That's 800-760-1845.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. Today, partly sunny with a high near 22, temperatures falling to around 19 in the afternoon. It feels like -5 with gusty winds up to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 4. It feels like -4. Tomorrow, sunny with a high near 23. Currently, it is 10 degrees and mainly clear. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with a sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a Honey Buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
It's First Shift on this Thursday morning. Julie Mann is here from Kane County, the Public Information Officer, talking about lots of things going on in Kane County. We've kind of just hit the tip of the iceberg so far. We still have a lot of information to pass along in the second half of the show. If you want to join us, you can at 847-931-1410. And thanks for commenting on YouTube this morning. Let's see what I have here before we get back to the conversation. We have Brian checking in. Brian L., he says, wasn't the Randall Road and Hops Road intersection recently redone?
That section of road, I believe, was recently done, but it was more north. It was actually interesting. If I can recall this correctly, there was a dip in the road on Randall Road near Hops, and they had to boost that up using some kind of filler underneath. And that was very cool that they lifted the road up so people didn't kind of bounce when they went down there. But yeah. But there is a new subdivision going in over there. There's a lot of activity that's going in over there. So yes.
And Dennis Green, Sonar, checks in. He's on the afternoon show, of course, apolitical talk show. He says, we love to have Julie on as much as possible. Her blend of knowledge, of messaging, and community engagement is a great addition to any show.
Oh, well, flattery will get you everywhere.
There you go. Okay. Engage us some more, Julie.
Okay. Well, okay, so back in 2024, last year, the Kane County Board approved a climate action implementation plan. This was studied. We wanted to know what the county could do to reduce its carbon footprint and help its municipalities with a blueprint. Again, no requirements, no mandates. This is just definitely recommendations, things that they can do. Brought citizens together who then outlined what they thought their priorities were. That's now really getting into some really great next steps on how we can reduce carbon emissions and reduce food waste and recycling and what have you. And so they really are looking for people to come to a virtual meeting that's February 27th from 6 to 7 o'clock. You can find out more at kanecountyconnects.com on how you can get involved in Kane County's climate action implementation plan. They did really have made some progress, including expanding local healthy food for kids. They're promoting green workforce development. And again, this is not any kind of mandate. It doesn't change anything, it won't impact businesses, but just a roadmap that allows people to see, based on data that this group has collected, what you could do to help if you wanted to, what you could implement into your own plan. To see if we could reduce our own carbon footprint. Also, just around the corner, we have an election, and it's on April 1st.
That's what I heard.
That's no fooling, right?
That's right.
Okay.
April Fools.
Right. So actually, we do have a February consolidated primary, but that's just for residents in Aurora only. So that if you see anything about a primary on February 25th, that is definitely just for the Aurora area. They are the only people that have a primary.
It's the only place having a primary in Kane County is Aurora.
Is Aurora, right.
And that's for the mayoral race, right?
Right, in township, right. Okay. There's a township primary election, too. Yeah. So the April 1st election, that includes village mayor, president, city council, village boards, township offices, school board members, library board members, park district, you name it. And then the key dates for that, just so you know, so early voting begins on March 7th. That's just at the Kane County Clerk's office in Geneva and their satellite office, which is now in Aurora, which at some point will expand to Elgin when we get our new building up and running. Then that will expand on March 17th to all early voting polling places. And then again, you can always vote on election day, which is April 1st. All the information you need to know about elections is at the Kane County Clerk's office. So how you register to vote, find out if you're registered to vote, where you can vote. So again, election coming up on April 1st.
And the Kane County Clerk's office, I don't know how I know this, but the phone number is 630-232-5950. I believe it, 630-232-5950. And I'm not reading that. So you can find out more by calling them. I know that vote by mail is getting more popular.
That is.
As time goes on. And I don't know what the deadline, you know what the deadline is to register to vote by mail, or do they need to call 630-232-5950, Julie?
Yeah, unfortunately, I did not write that down on my list, which I should have, because you're absolutely right. Vote by mail is very convenient, and many, many people are taking advantage of that. I just had when the vote by mail for the primary was. So, but again, you're right. You can go to the Kane County Clerk's website, easy to find. Just Google Kane County Clerk, and you can find out all you need to know about early voting and mail-in ballots as well.
When you mentioned the satellite office that's going to be opening in Elgin, I don't know, did you give a date? Is there a timetable as to when the opening of that building is to take place?
I think what they're shooting for is late spring, early summer. But that's
of this year.
That's this year.
Okay,
that's
good.
fluid. That's fluid though. There's a lot to. They had to convert some of it, repurpose part of it, and make sure that it was up to standards. So I think they're working on that. They are working on that right now, and hopefully I will have an update in the coming months on when we can actually see the grand opening for that building.
Okay,
so
sounds good.
This doesn't really have to do with Kane County, but it has to do with the Kane County Bar Association. And I just think it's a great program. It's called Lawyer in the Lobby. It's a free program that allows Kane County residents to obtain legal guidance on civil matters at no cost. And that includes like landlord tenant disputes, evictions, foreclosures, name changes, small claims cases, estates, wills, and guardianships. And what's really great about this is that you can meet the lawyer in the library at the Kane County 3rd Street Courthouse, which is right downtown Geneva. It's the big, beautiful building that sits kind of right in the middle of 3rd Street.
Yeah.
And that's every Friday from 9 until noon. There will be a lawyer in the library from the Kane County Bar Association to provide free legal advice at no cost, just to give you some guidance on that. I thought that's kind of a neat thing. I know people have always want to know. Some people really need lawyers and don't know where to start. This might be a start. They started this program back in the fall of 2011 and had to stop it because of COVID, but now they're back in business. And again, it's a 15-minute in-person appointment. You don't need an appointment. You can just walk in. But again, every Friday, and you can do it from 9 until noon with the Kane County Bar Association. So I thought that was kind of an interesting program.
I think that would be something that would be in high demand. And I'm surprised you don't need an appointment. Maybe at some point you might.
Yeah.
Because the more people find out about that, to be able to just at least know where to get started and to be able to ask a few questions, and the fact that if you actually have to get advice from an actual lawyer, how costly that can be.
Right.
So this is a nice service for sure.
Exactly. And again, just to stress, too, it's for civil matters only. It's not criminal matters.
Gotcha.
So that includes what I mentioned, but civil matters only. Another exciting thing that happened in Kane County, and again, it really doesn't have to do with Kane County government and services, but we did have a milestone at the county. Our Hamid Ahmad he hit the 50-year milestone of working for Kane County government.
Really?
So started in 1975 in the Kane County Development Department. And yeah, still going strong. Just a very valuable presence at the Kane County Government Center. Has never really had a sick day, just enjoys his job. He came from India with a degree in architecture and interior design, and moved to Batavia, and he has been with the county ever since. If you can imagine, they were doing handmade blueprints when he started, and now they have the whole, GIS system, which is computer generated, and you can take a drone shot of a new subdivision or a plat where a subdivision is going to be, and map it out that way. He used to have to go out there and measure, and so he's seen a lot. Is
that what he does?
He doesn't do that much anymore, but he does. He's really kind of focused on rehabilitation programs, permitting things. He was on the ground level, if you can believe this. He was telling me this story. First of all, the county, he laughed a little bit, back in the late 70s had Pintos as their county cars.
They did?
I know. Until you know.
Those were dangerous cars.
I know, until that wasn't cool to do anymore. Right. So he laughed about that. He said, when he first started at the county, cost of gasoline was just about 42 cents. And I actually looked it up too when he started. Gerald Ford was in the White House. First ever summer blockbuster was Jaws. That was in the movie theaters. And Microsoft had just been founded. So you can imagine, he's seen a lot, right? So, but he right now, the things that he played a role in, if people know, the Great Western Trail. So that expanded from DuPage County through Kane County into DeKalb County. It was using an old railroad, an abandoned railroad, and he really kind of used his skills as part of that team to identify where the environmental things and where we needed to put the path and where it could go and how it should cross the streets. But he also assisted in the permitting efforts when the first cable TV franchises came to town. And that was interesting. He was telling me that, people wanted cable television, right? Do you remember cable television? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See, I grew up out in Campton Township, which is now, Campton Hills, Wasco particularly. So we didn't have cable for a very long time. But when people did, they wanted the wires that came across, and he had to measure to make sure that you had enough space to get the wires out and that you were able to sign the franchise. And so that was, again, he's seen a lot of development. But 50 years, you would think a lot of those people. He's 83 years old. He still plays tennis twice a week.
Tennis?
Tennis.
Not pickleball?
Not pickleball. He's a tennis guy. So, So our Hamid Ahmed wanted to congratulate him for 50 years with Kane County, and a dedicated employee, and still going strong. I asked him, I said, all right, what's your retirement? What about retirement? He said, well, I have to ask my wife about that. So Obviously a sense of humor too, but, but raised his family in Batavia, became a resident and a valuable asset to Kane County.
Wow.
So I just want to give him a shout out.
No doubt. That's awesome. I'm not believing that he's never taken a sick day.
Well, he says no.
50 years, no sick days
this
ever?
I'm telling you, he is dedicated to what he does and enjoys his work, shows up every day. He's on the 4th floor. That's where the Kane County Development Department is. Actually was on the ground level, too, of helping to repurpose the Sacred Heart Seminary, which is what is now the Kane County Government Center campus in Geneva. It's a big, beautiful building at the end of 3rd Street. It was a seminary until the county purchased it, and I believe in 1975, and that's where most of the Kane County department offices are now housed. So,
I was just thinking about cable TV. It was the best thing ever when you first had cable TV, wasn't it?
Well, MTV, that was me. I was fascinated by MTV.
That's the only reason I know.
Killed the radio star, right?
Yeah.
Mark?
I can, and it ruined some musicians. Well, it didn't ruin them, but it made some musicians into a mockery of themselves a little bit by the videos they did.
If you go back and watch them, they are just...
corny.
Corny
Really corny.
is kind. I think it's an adjective that's very kind.
The first 2 groups, I think, of Hall & Oates and Huey Lewis and the News. They got corny really fast.
Yes.
By the videos that they did.
Right. But anyways, so cable television's been around a long time, obviously now kind of morphing into streaming services, right? So, which I have too many of. So
You do?
Yes.
A lot of $5.99 a month's going on?
Oh, and I think, wait, we just started watching that series. Which one was that on again? I can't find it. So.
I still have, I have Comcast at the house, but for internet only. And it's just funny how the price creeps up without you noticing.
Yes.
Now it's up to like $85 a month on my latest because I get automatic withdrawal, so you don't really pay attention that closely.
Yeah.
I think it started at like 60 something. Now it's 85. Is it time for me to call Comcast and say, I'm canceling? I'm canceling to see if they'll offer me a better price.
Yeah.
So.
Well, a lot of people have gone to the streaming services like a YouTube or a Hulu. They actually provide live service or live streaming, so you can get your regular channels. But that's a whole different ballgame, obviously. But the county. Let's hit it up with Kane County Connects one more time. You can sign up for Kane County Connects. You will get you just sign up with your email. You'll get a confirmation from Constant Contact, which is the service we use to send it out. You just approve the notice that you get from them, the confirmation email, and voila, twice a week, a beautifully written newsletter pops into your inbox that, again, will give you some county news, what the county government is doing, so you have a better idea of what county does to service the residents of Kane County. Again, information like I was talking about, the transportation projects that are coming up, the priority, the health department, the things that they're doing, the different types of services that provide, the Office of Emergency Management, again, Pet of the Week, off the Kane County Animal Control, all really doing fantastic jobs. So that's one way. Plus events, community events, things you want to know. I try to hit every different community at least twice a week. Somebody wrote me the other day and said, you never put North Aurora in there. I said,
that's because nothing goes on in North Aurora.
No, that's not true. A lot goes on in North Aurora. I'll give a shout out to North Aurora. They do a lot. But sometimes it seems like a little while before I am able to put a community in there. But I do encourage people to reach out to me too. If you've got an event that's going on, you think something that you'd like to promote, you can always email me or just hit up kanecountyconnects.com. So
what's the best way to email you?
It's manjulie@co.kane.il.us.
Wow. You got that, listeners?
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Okay.
9:49, so maybe we'll have you back in a couple of weeks. Yeah. And so what do you write about next? How do you decide what your next newsletter is going to be about? What the next set of our articles are going to be?
Yeah, that's a good question.
You just roll with the punches?
Just watch what the county board's doing, what each office is doing, what the elected officials are doing, and they're doing a lot. So there are tons and tons of things. Also, just to quickly mention, too, the Forest Preserve District of Kane County, very active. Different government unit. It's different than Kane County government, but again, they're doing a million different things too, so it's easy to follow them as well and report on things that are going on there. So
awesome. Well, thanks for coming in, Julie.
Yeah, thanks, Mark.
Appreciate it. We'll see you back in a couple of weeks, I hope. Mm-hmm. It's Julie Mann, and she's with Kane County Connects, and we hope you start to follow Kane County Connects and subscribe to it. And we'll be back to finish the first shift in just a moment. Here it's 9:50 on WRMN. Keep it right here.
In this next Elgin City Council election, you'll have a choice to make, not just between political philosophy